So Nvidia is the talk of the town. It's the AI golden child company. $4.5 trillion market cap, chips powering ChatGPT, Tesla's self-driving cars, and your grandma's deepfake TikToks. But what if I told you strategy, ticker symbol MSTR, could eclipse Nvidia in the next decade without making a single chip? I mean, it's already crushing its goals years ahead of time. It's got sovereign nations like Switzerland and institutions like Fidelity and Cantor Fitzgerald licking their lips, begging for more, and is trading at a steal right now. Strategy currently sits at an $83 billion market cap, and after watching this video, you will understand why Strategy is super undervalued and how it can eventually get to multiple trillions in market cap. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Patrick. I've been an investor for over a decade, an options trader for 7 years, and in crypto for 7 years. I've grown my portfolio to over $250,000, and I run Apex Wealth Collective, a school community for investors where you can follow my portfolio journey, see all of my buys and sells as soon as I make them, and get deeper market analysis. Also get access to all of my YouTube content early and get your questions included in any future Q&A videos. Link is in the description below if you're interested. In the niches of investing and finance on social media, strategy, ticker symbol MSTR, is a hot topic, but a household name, nowhere close. That's why it's your edge. As the famous Tom Lee has said on TV interviews before, 95% of all Bitcoin has already been mined, and 95% of people don't own any. He calls MSTR a granny shot investment because of how obvious the success will be in hindsight. If people thought Bitcoin was a digital diamond in the rough, then strategy is the new digital gold rush. Think about how few people know what strategy is yet. If 95% of the people in the world own 0 Bitcoin, how many of these people do you think have ever even heard about strategy, the company, let alone understand their Bitcoin treasury strategy? It has to be minuscule. I would bet that less than 1% of the entire world's population knows about strategy and their Bitcoin accumulation methods. Again, this is where your edge lies, getting into a trend before almost anyone has jumped onto it. It's like catching the trend of becoming a TikTok creator when TikTok was just an app for kids making dancing videos 7 years ago. Strategy is a Bitcoin black hole that'll be sucking in trillions and trillions of dormant capital if crypto and Bitcoin continues to moon, which I personally believe it will. It's already outrunning Nvidia's gains and is trading like it's still just a software company that owns 0 Bitcoin. Look at this chart. MSTR is trading at prices today that it used to trade at in the heights of the dot-com bubble in 2001, when they had a subpar software strategy and 0 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Just on an inflation-adjusted basis, this stock today should be way higher than it currently is, not even considering their Bitcoin treasury strategy. And today, Strategy owns over 640,000 Bitcoin, which is just north of 3% of the entire supply. They're not just holding Bitcoin, they're leveraging debt to do it, and equity, and fixed income products, and just sheer audacity to stack more sats than most nation states are able to. Now let's discuss the classic FUD we've all heard about strategy. Number 1, Bitcoin will tank sooner or later and strategy will be margin called. It's not true. None of the debt that strategy holds can be margin called. Bitcoin can fall to $1, literally, and strategy is not forced to sell a single Bitcoin. None of strategy's debt is callable. Now, number 2, oh my God, they have so much leverage, they're gonna blow up. That's wrong as well. Their current debt leverage ratio is sitting at around 18%. That's like saying someone is in danger of losing their $1 million house because they owe a $180,000 mortgage on it. And number 3, MSTR stock price will never go up again because strategy will just keep diluting the stock to buy more Bitcoin. Also wrong. Strategy is slowly moving away from ATM stock issuance for debt to buy Bitcoin and moving to preferred fixed income instruments, which get paid dividends and in turn have their fixed income capital used to buy more Bitcoin, resulting in 0 dilution to the common stock MSTR holders and more Bitcoin on the balance sheet, resulting in a lot more Satoshis per diluted share. Now, speaking of fixed income, this is where a lot of people get super confused, including me initially. I'm not gonna lie. But basically all you really have to know is the surface level framework of how these preferred shares work. Strategy currently sells 4 preferred fixed income products to fixed income investors: STRF, STRK, STRC, and STRD. Now, each product contains different levels of exposure to MSTR stock in the underlying Bitcoin, and some are more volatile than others, and they all pay different levels of dividends, ranging from like 7% to 12% annually. Now, from a fixed income perspective, there's no government treasury or bond on the planet that can offer these kinds of dividends. So Strategy is reeling in fixed income investors to invest in these preferred products, so that they can then take that fixed income capital that's been invested and buy more Bitcoin with it. And this is the best part. The fixed income market that Saylor is trying to attack with these preferred vehicles is $153 trillion. With a T, trillion. So if Strategy can even siphon 1% of this market, they can buy over $1.5 trillion of Bitcoin without needing to dilute MSTR shareholders with a single share, just 1%. Now, obviously, this is something that takes time to unfold, as many investors still don't trust or believe in Bitcoin, let alone Bitcoin-backed bonds. But in due time, I think they will. And you will see the fixed income market salivating for these types of products when government treasuries and sovereign bond yields just can't even outpace inflation. To give you an example, Strategy's fixed income preferred stock volume grew 26% week over week and 92% month over month as of October 17th. Month over month volume jumped almost double. Preferred stock liquidity is already going parabolic with these charts, as you can see. With the most recent Bitcoin acquisitions, these preferred equity Bitcoin purchases are extrapolating an estimated $2 billion in annual purchases of Bitcoin. And this is just the test run with preferred equity. They haven't even started buying Bitcoin with the newest edition, STRD. And as of right now, S&P Global Ratings has just assigned Strategy a B- issuer credit rating, the first ever rating of a Bitcoin treasury company by a major credit rating agency. This is a massive first mover's advantage. Now, what does this mean in the grand scheme of things? Well, for one, MSTR shareholders will get much less dilution as Strategy pivots from solely diluting shares to selling preferred fixed income to buy more Bitcoin. Now, Strategy still plans to use ATM stock sales to make bigger one-and-done Bitcoin purchases, but with much more precision and less frequency. So stockholders will acquire more Bitcoin per share with less share dilution from ATM stock sales. They'll be selling MSTR stock to fund the dividends for these preferred vehicles though. However, the amount needed to sell to fund these dividends is minute, and it's currently mostly covered by the income made by the software side of the business. Now, the fixed income market is completely slept on in the crypto space. We all talk about banks and, big institutions and big fish buying Bitcoin to pump our bags. But in the end, the fixed income market will probably be the largest pool of liquidity that comes into this asset class. And Strategy is the first one through the door with the most optionality for investors to invest in. Now let's zoom out of the complicated and nuanced world of fixed income and look at Bitcoin, the underlying asset that will take Strategy past Nvidia's market cap, I believe. If we look at the current risk levels for Bitcoin's price action, the max risk value at 1.0 shows Bitcoin can reach a price of $325,000 as of current market conditions. And I honestly think it's going to go higher than that, but let's just leave it at 325,000. And so if MSTR moves approximately double of what Bitcoin moves over the long term, this means we could see a potential 3x move in Bitcoin from current prices, and therefore a 6x move in MSTR from current prices, which would put MSTR at around $1,500 to $1,600 a share. A pretty good investment to hold for a year, if you ask me. So at the end of the day, you really have to look at the writing on the wall. All the people on social media are bearish, but all the fundamentals on MSTR are super bullish. I know which one to fade, but do you? Now, if you've stuck around this long, go ahead and catch another one of my videos right over here, or check out my channel over here, where you can take a look at all the other content I have to offer about investing in my personal investing journey. Now, that's all for me today. I'm Patrick with Apex Wealth Collective. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.